What is up, skate rats? Today I'm taking on hand plants, actually again. I had a video that did pretty well a few years ago, and I made a bunch of mistakes throughout it, and I didn't actually realize it until I went back and watched a particular video. So if you haven't seen it, the 9 Club posted a few years ago, Chris Roberts learning hand plants with Mike Vallely, and it's a very entertaining video, and I went out maybe like a day or two later and tried to learn them, except I made every mistake that Chris Roberts made, and in the end, the only thing I rolled away with is what jokingly they were calling the crop plant. But in today's video, I'm going to try to fix those mistakes. Now, I don't expect mine today to look like Mike V's, but there are certain things I definitely want to do. I'm going to walk you through all the practice steps I'm going to take to try to hopefully today get a decent looking hand plant, because I think they look pretty sick. But first, let's warm up. So the first thing I'm going to do to try to get comfortable with this is when I do cavemans, I'm either going to use my front hand, and I ride regular, so my left hand, grabbing the nose of the board to jump on it, or my back hand, my right hand, grabbing the center of the board. But for this particular trick, I kind of need to be comfortable using my left hand in the center. So I'm just going to practice like a caveman or two, trying to jump and pull my board up to my feet instead of just dropping it. No. So the next thing isn't necessarily hard for me. I do a lot of no-comply foot plant variations, but it is just being able to take my front hand, so my left hand in this case, grabbing the center of the board, stepping off of my front foot, and pulling the board out. And that's how Mike V gets into his hand plants, like into his stance. So for me, that's not necessarily difficult. I am going to look very silly right now, but in my mind, watching him do it, he gets this incredible extension out of it, like he's doing an invert. And after watching back that crop video, realizing you don't need to do all that until you're comfortable to do all that. So I prefer to plant on my left hand, but after watching him and listening to him speak, that's weird to get your board back underneath you. So I kind of have to change to my right hand. Now I can learn my left hand. I tried that, didn't really work. But I'm just gonna do like mule kicks on just my right hand, just trying to get my feet a few feet off of the ground. Nothing above my head, not quite yet, but just kind of getting used to that motion. And of course, after time, I can try to go more vertical. And hopefully by the end of the night, I have one that I'm proud of. But practicing these at the skate park, you're definitely going to look a little weird. But if you're not comfortable planting on your right hand, I recommend doing that first before you fall on your face. Okay, I'm actually pretty stoked on those. I didn't actually think tonight was going to go that well. If I misspeak, I'm sorry. I'm a little lightheaded from all the handstands I just did. But the last one definitely gets me stoked because it's not perfect, but I was still pulling the board up as my feet reached it, because honestly, that was the hardest part for me, was getting the board beyond like waist level, because I'd hold it out there and wait for my feet to come down. No matter how many times I told myself to continuously move it up, it took until the last try to sort of do that. And you can see it if you go back and watch it again. Obviously, I didn't watch all of them, but I do believe that's the only one I do that on. But if you guys are curious to learn this, there's 2 last tips I'm going to give to you. One is kind of obvious, and one honestly wasn't that obvious to me. The first one is bailing out. So I'll show a clip here. What you're gonna definitely wanna do is as you're bringing your board up, if your handstand feels kind of funny, throw your board behind you. Honestly, you kind of just have to let go. Centrifugal force will pull it away from you and get your other hand down instantly. I definitely had to do that a few times. So something I didn't think about in the beginning, I used to walk on my hands when I was younger quite a bit. I'd walk upstairs and, kind of the circus tricks a lot of guys do when they were younger. And to get into it, I would kind of throw my hands further out in front of me and throw my momentum up. But that's just how I did it, and that's kind of the only reference I have for tricks like this. So it never really dawned on me, but let's just say if my left hand is my foot here, and my right hand is my actual hand, depending on where you plant in relation to your foot, is depending on how much effort it takes to jump and get your feet into the air. So a few of them that I had to bail out of, I planted my hand behind my feet. And when I would do just even a little jump, it would almost throw me right over. So in the beginning, I do recommend putting your hand out a little further in front of you, only doing very small ones against the ground, and then slowly walk your hand in to get more and more of the inverted angle. But I hope you guys did enjoy this, as I said already. But I'm going to go. It is dinner time. As always, Skate Rats, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Please hit that subscribe button, guys. We're pushing for 1,000, and we're almost at 700, so we're slowly getting there. Have a great day, and keep pushing forward, guys.